Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Quarantine Kitchen. Today I'll be making some homemade ricotta. To start, we'll make a basic ricotta with half a gallon of whole milk, 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, 1 lemon, 1 bay leaf, and 1 piece of cheesecloth. We'll start by adding our milk to a small pot. Making homemade ricotta is a great way to use some milk that's getting close to its expiration date. Next, we'll take our lemon and zest it directly into our milk. Make sure not to zest too far down. You don't want to get any of the white pith in with the milk. Make sure also to save this lemon as you're going to be adding the lemon juice to the red wine vinegar later. Once you've added all the lemon zest, add your bay leaves and place your pot on the stove on medium-low heat. We want to bring this up to a scald, which is right before a boil, without actually bringing it to a boil. Watch carefully so your milk does not boil over. Once your milk has started to foam and steam, add your red wine vinegar and your lemon juice, and then stir. You'll immediately see the curds, the solid part, and the whey, the liquid, to start to separate. The curds become your ricotta, and the whey can be used in other recipes, such as baking. Next, pour your curds and whey through a cheesecloth-lined strainer, making sure to reserve the whey that comes out. You'll be adding some of the whey back into the ricotta later. Let your ricotta drain for at least an hour and up to 12 hours. I left this batch to drain overnight. Now that we have our basic ricotta, we can work on our whipped ricotta. You can flavor your whipped ricotta any way that you'd like, but today I'm going to be flavoring mine with sage and garlic. I'll start by doing a thin chiffonade on my sage. If you're using a food processor like I am, this step is unnecessary, but if you're going to use a stand mixer or any other kind of mixer, including a whisk, I definitely recommend cutting it nice and thin so you don't get big chunks of sage in every bite. Next, I'll add all my ingredients to my food processor. I'll start with just my pint of ricotta, a little bit of sage, about a quarter clove of garlic. We don't want to put too much in here and overwhelm the flavor of the sage and the ricotta, and then a little bit of salt. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of whey. Even though the recipe calls for about a quarter cup of whey, I want to only add about a tablespoon at a time. When I'm doing this, I want to really make sure that I'm not over adding whey so that it becomes too liquidy again. As you can see, my ricotta is still pretty dry, so I'm going to add a little bit of whey and scrape down the sides, and then continue to blend. From here on out, I will repeat the process of scraping down the sides, adding whey, and seasoning my ricotta. I'll keep doing this until my ricotta is smooth and creamy. I like to season my ricotta with a little bit of olive oil. I use olive oil because the fat helps to coat your mouth, and it also helps to bring out some of the other flavors that you're putting in there. I also really like the sort of floral quality that olive oil brings to ricotta. Fresh ricotta is great spread on some toast or put on top of some pasta. It keeps about a week in the refrigerator, or feel free to freeze it for later.